Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Welcome to online class of entrepreneurship. Today we are conducting our 12th lecture. In previous lecture we talked about business analysis techniques, including some SWOT analysis. We talked about most analysis and the PESTLE analysis. In today's lecture we will study about business process modeling, BPM, and PERT analysis and CATWOE analysis. Starting with the business process modeling. Business process modeling is all about a process improvement, and it's a legacy process and however often used as a business analytical technique during the analysis phase of the project to understand and analyze the gaps between the existing business process and the future business processes that the business is opting for. It is also known as the process modeling, and it's an analytical representation and put simply an illustration of an organization's business processes, or the modeling process is a critical component for effective business process management. So the techniques to model the business processes that are used in the business processing is the like the flow chart, a functional flow back diagram, flow block diagram, and the control flow diagram like Gantt chart, PERT diagram, and these are certain charts that are being used in the process modeling. And as per the International Institute of Business Analysis, the business analyst performed the below task in the BPM project, like strategic planning, business model analysis, defining process and design it, and technical analysis for complex business solution. Basically, the primary objective of the business process modeling is to analyze how things are right now and stimulate how should they be carried out to achieve the better results. Usually the BPM is represented in a diagrammatic way or graphical way, where the processes, decisions, and informations are represented at the sequential workflow. And there are two types of notation used for the BPM diagram: the BPM business process modeling notation and unified modeling language activity diagram. The BPM technique is an easy way to logically represent how the business processes will operate by the different roles, and moreover, it is one of the best business analysis technique recognized in the industries like the IT industry. Hence, the people can easily visualize the sequential steps of the execution process that are being carried out through this modeling technique, and this in turn helps to make the complex business analysis more straightforward to perform for the better analyst. And it has a visual impact of this technique, or the visual flow chart, and that are being very easy to understand and to make the employees of your organization, make them understand very well through a dramatic way. Like for example, the BPM is shown in this figure, in this diagram. It shows that you automate the things, you monitor it, you analyze it. The results of the analysis will help you to improve your model, to improve your processes, and this is how the things get done, and this is how you can get the better results, and you can get the improvement in your processes. Second analysis technique we have is the PERT analysis. PERT analysis is it's a program evaluation and review technique actually, and and it's a method used to examine the tasks that are being scheduled and determine a variation of the critical pathway, and it analyzes the time required to complete each task and its associated dependencies to determine the minimum time to complete a project. It estimates the shortest possible time. It will help you to estimate the maximum time period that you need to require to complete the task, and it helps you to if everything get normal and the things are constant, and the what time it should be the project would take. And the method was developed this method was developed by the US Navy in 1957 Polaris nuclear submarine project. And to conduct the PERT analysis, the 3 time estimates that are being obtained are the optimistic, and then pessimistic, and the most likely for every activity along the critical path, and then use those estimates in a formula that are given below to calculate how much time for each project stage would take. Formula includes the P plus 4M plus O divided by 6, and P for the pessimistic time period, and 4M for the most likely time period, and O for the optimistic, and divided by 6. So basically the PERT analysis, or the project evaluation and review technique, is used by the project management, and it helps in handling the programs and projects, and which involves a series of activities. If you have a project and it has many activities number involved in that particular project, and for each activity how much time it would take, how long it would take to complete one activity, and then second activity, and then whole project. And this is how you can estimate the time period for that particular project to be complete in scenarios of optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. For example, when the organization undertakes a new project, and it becomes difficult to determine the time within which the project has to be completed. So therefore, to provide the deadline for every task involved in the project and guide them on the sequence of all the activities, PERT analysis is considered to be the most suitable method. And it is also handy tool for budgeting such a project. And this is because having an idea of estimated duration will help the management to ascertain the need for the financial and the human resources and the other resources that are required for that particular project. So the project network through PERT chart, it helps the management to pen down their time estimation of completing a project. It also provides an idea of series in which the various activities are to be carried out, and proposed time taken to complete each task. For example, in here we see, first we see that optimistic time is the minimum possible time required to accomplish a task, assuming everything proceeds better than normally expected. Then comes the pessimistic time, P, and maximum possible time required to accomplish a task, and assuming everything goes wrong. And most likely time is the best estimate for time required to accomplish the task, assuming everything proceeds as normal. So here, if we have a project and it includes 4 activities or 4 tasks, A, B, C, D. So we calculate through PERT analysis, we will calculate optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic time period for task A, and likewise for task B and task C, and then task A, B, C, D, and so on. So on the whole, how long this project this project would take to complete. Optimistically, we would say that it would complete in 8 weeks. Most likely, under normal circumstances, we would say that it would complete in 14 weeks. And pessimistic time period would be 20 weeks. And this is how we calculate in this figure, this is how we calculate the critical pathway for each task. Like for task A, we would calculate the pathway. For task B, we will calculate like the same, optimistic, most likely, and pessimistically. And for task D, and so on. For every task, we would calculate the critical path. And for example, if task A would start and it would complete, if we say that optimistically it would take 1 day and then it get finished. But if we consider it most likely way, we can say that this task would start and it would go to one day, and then it would take another day, the second day, and then it get finished. And then comes the this is the most likely way. And then comes the pessimistically, we would say that if everything goes wrong, then a task would start, it would take one day, then it goes to the next day, and then it again go to the one day, and then it get finished. So things get wrong, something gets wrong, and particular task completed more time than it has to be completed. So there are three pathways, three time periods allocated: pessimistic, and then optimistic, and then most likely. This is how we would calculate for task B and task C and task D. So on the whole, the project time period would be calculated based on these tasks and activities. The next technique is the CATWOE technique. It's actually a generic thinking way for the business analysis to understand what a business is trying to achieve, and it identifies what the problem areas are and how the solution will impact the business and its associated people. CATWOE is an acronym for the client: C for client, A for actors, T for transformation, W for worldview, O for owner, and then E for environmental constraints. CATWOE, the clients or the customers are the recipients of the outputs from the business system. They are the ultimate beneficiaries of your product or the services that you are producing. And how does those affect your beneficiaries? Then actors are the who are involved in the situation, the roles that they perform, the business system processes, and all those stakeholders that have interest in your business, that are playing their part in your business, that are actors. And transformation is the core process that delivers the output to the customer, and what are the processes that are going through which your product and services would get the final shape, and through which what are the core processes through which your product and services going through and get the final shape. And then comes the worldview, the underlying worldview for the transformation that are required, the big picture, the holistic picture. And O for the owners, the stakeholder with the overall authority for the business system, and who is the owner of impacted system and how are they related. And then E for the environmental constraint, the rules and constraints surrounding the business system, and what are the environmental constraints. For example, we studied in PESTLE analysis that all the environmental forces, the external forces that are impacting your business processes, that are impacting your business, that are impacting your operations. And now, so this CATWOE is defined by the Peter Chuckland as a part of his software system methodology. And the CATWOE analysis is a simple technique and which can be used for stimulating thinking regarding the business problems and the solutions. CATWOE analysis bring up the different stakeholders' perception on the common platform, and hence it provide a holistic understanding regarding the assumption, the integrity of the data, the ethical angle. It helps a business analyst to prioritize different perspectives depending on its merit. And usually the business stakeholder will have idea about the direction of the organization and should take the requirements to be addressed, the option for improvement, and the solutions that should be implemented. However, these views stem from their personal concerns, beliefs, their values and priorities, and it is this through this lens that often forms the basis for a strongly held opinion from which the deviation is challenging. So a failure to consider these perspectives can result in a serious challenges later in the project as any differences of the opinion develop into conflict, and this may be seen in a conflicting priorities placed upon business requirements, or even the emergence of the conflicting requirements. So that's how the CATWOE is important to be used in the business processing as an analysis technique. So this is it from today's lecture. These are some business analysis technique we discussed briefly about. We just talk about these techniques that are being used in the business processes as a part of business plan. So any questions and queries are most welcome. Thank you.